So day one here on our passage to Fiji from Tonga is coming to an end. Really only half a day. We left at noon, but almost sunset now, and we've plugged away 40 miles. It's been nice, steady 15 knots or so, and we're just running on a broad reach. We don't want to go dead downwind and deal with the rolling death rolls that inevitably come on dead downwind, so wing on wing. So we're not pointed directly at Fiji, but close enough. We'll jibe maybe tomorrow and start heading back towards Fiji again. Yeah, good first day. Nice steady breeze and sea state, and hoping it stays this way for the next few days. I think it should, according to the forecast. All right, everybody. Good night. You ready for your shift?
Yes. Alie, journal, Tonga to Fiji. Night 1. The stars are out. But there are streaks of clouds like someone took a big paintbrush and smeared black paint on top of all the stars. I'm drinking tea in the cockpit, and I feel my body detoxing from the social media world and the fast-paced technology that usually consumes my evenings. Left alone with my thoughts. We slipped back into our night shift so easily this time, it surprised us both. Like our bodies remembered what to do, and we were more than ready to go on passage. It's weird, when you travel by plane, you get on the plane in your home country, and when you get off, the door opens and you're hit with a dramatic shift for all your senses. A wave of heat, smells of different culture foods, sounds of different languages being yelled. The shock is like a loud voice yelling, "You are somewhere new." But when you go by boat, you take your home with you. So it's gradual. You gradually change temperature 1 degree at a time, and it's barely noticeable. You hear different languages on the radio until one slowly becomes more dominant. You don't get the same shock of being somewhere new, and that allows you to take your comfort zone with you. I'm a different person traveling by boat than I was when I was traveling by plane. I'm less of a tourist and more at home in a place that isn't my home. I connect deeper with the locals as I would people in my own neighborhood. It's different.
Suva Yacht Club, Suva Yacht Club, Suva Yacht Club. This is SV Kiana. Do you copy? What time is it?
It's pretty early, 7:30.
It might not be open yet. Suva Yacht Club, Suva Yacht Club, Suva Yacht Club. This is Kiana. Do you copy?
That is correct. We arrived in Fiji after a 3.5 day sail. We didn't really film, I don't think, other than like drone. During the passage, we were both just feeling kind of tired and kind of different passage making. Not that long ago, did the Tonga passage, which was really long. I just wanted to be here, and so we just. Well, here we are. We're in Fiji, new place. We're in Sceptre, which is the capital city, pretty industrial looking port here, pretty busy port. This is what we're clearing. We're gonna go check out the town. We're gonna get some laundry done probably, fill up. We need water, we need fuel, and then we probably leave. So welcome to Fiji.
Slack.
Cut me some slack, bro.
Cut me some slack.
The first to come right out to the anchorage was Customs, who kept it very easy and straightforward and were super friendly.
Fiji!
Yeah!
Go Fiji, go!
First time we've actually used our quarantine flag properly.
They're very friendly.
Bula bula.
Most of the time I get nervous in customs situations. Favorite credit?
most of the time I get nervous in customs situations just because I feel like I'm in trouble. They're super friendly here.
See that flag again?
They took our passports with them when they left, telling us to come to their office later that day where we could pick them up after paying the fee for our visa.
Okay, that's step one. We've cleared in. A little more complicated than I'd say most countries for clearing in, but not too bad so far. Bula bula. Bula bula. I'm Fijian now. Should I get a tattoo? Alright, Fiji! Alright, step two. Done. That was customs.
That was immigration, wasn't it? Yeah, they cared about all our fruit and that.
Yeah. Ministry of Health or whatever. So we gotta go to their office, which is like a kilometer away. They took our passports, so we gotta go complete the check-in over there. And they gotta give us a slap on the wrist because you're apparently supposed to notify the authorities in advance of your arrival, like a few days in advance. So we'll get our slap on the wrist, finish the check-in there, pay that invoice, and then we gotta go take a cab to another office and pay a different invoice, and then we're done.
They're just taking all our money.
So it's a 4-step process. And then this is the most thorough check-in. Like they actually came on the boat, looked in the boat, and looked for weapons and food and stuff like that.
And animals.
So by far the most thorough immigration and customs process that we've been through yet.
Yeah, they're super thorough, but I will say they're also the most friendly. Like, I know Tonga even tried to, like, intimidate us, and they got mad because our checkout form was emailed to us from Tahiti instead of printed, and so he was, like, disappointed. I don't know, I feel like a lot of customs places will try to intimidate you, but they're super chill here.
The boat guy was like, "Welcome to Fiji."
Yeah, he's like, Ben, and he, like, gave you a handshake, and...
It's because he's a surfer.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool here. They're very friendly.
Welcome to Fiji, man. Little update for you guys. My makeshift repair is turning into a permanent repair. This is now fully cracked through, but this has done a good job. It's worked well. My boy.
It's like he knows your name, so now he uses it all the time. Ben.
Ben what?
We were reading that like petty theft is kind of a thing here, so we are locking up our dinghy. It was recommended to do, which we don't really do very often, but yeah,
When we did,
it's probably fine enough. But you know, better safe than sorry.
Better sorry than safe. Better sorry than safe.
You tell him.
It's always says. Bula. It's my new favorite word.
Once on land, we checked out the surroundings and the yacht club, which was well stocked with the local beer and a pool table. Our step in a new country is check in, obviously, but that usually kind of results in the double tandem of getting cash. Also, Ben noticed this. I didn't notice this, but he's like, "Oh, isn't it interesting how the further west we go, the more like Australian influence there is?" And I didn't notice that at first, but there's like they drive on the side of the road here, or the right side of the road is for them, but the left side. Oh, is he? Yeah. Okay.
We're looking Sceptre. Cash, SIM card. What else we gotta do? Oh, everything is so cheap here. Like this in Tonga would have been like $5. Tongan, it's $2, which actually I don't know what the currencies are like, but anyway, way cheap. Yeah, but limes, fresh limes. Booyah!
No dice.
They're going to hold on to our passports. So far we've had 2 different groups come to the boat, and then we had to pay a membership fee at the Royal Suva Yacht Club to help bring those people to the boat in the first place. And now we have to go visit 3 different offices in Suva, make payments in 2 of those offices, and then come to this 3rd one and get our passports tomorrow. So it's quite a rigmarole. And also we didn't send our 48-hour notification. So in addition, we have to write a letter saying why we didn't do that, which is basically we just didn't know. So yeah, it's definitely the most inefficient check-in process we've experienced so far. Oh.
So, with nothing left to do for the day, we head back to the yacht club for some beers and pool.
So office day 2, office 2. We've already been to a different office. In total now, we've been to 5 offices, plus 2 different groups of people came to our boat.
Yeah, and been given wrong directions 3 times.
We've made 2 payments. We're about to make a 3rd payment. And then we still have to go to another office after this that we've already been to once.
Wow. Final step.
Last step, we have to beg for forgiveness now for not giving them 48 hours notice.
In this tiny room with tires. This is by far the weirdest check-in process I've ever been through.
So,
day 2, check-in process continues. However, I think we're actually almost done.
well, we technically aren't.
We handed in all our paperwork, things are going well, we paid all our invoices, and then he goes, when do you guys want to go cruising? Because you need your cruising permit and you can't leave until you get it. And we're both just like...
So give it to us.
So he's going to email it, and then it has to get processed, and then we get our cruising permit, and we can't leave Savu until we have it.
So word to the wise, if you're clearing in Fiji, go to Sabu Sabu, not Sabu. Go to
And
Nami.
definitely hand your stuff in 48 hours in advance.
Yeah,
It'll
play
save you
by
so
their
much.
rules, but still, this would still taken 48 hours.
More paperwork. Vow? Is that where we are?
Fiji.
Oh, that's Tonga. After clearing into the country, the 2 days that we spent in the city was enough. Enough to stock up, have a few beers, meet some locals, enjoy the food, and enough to remind us that we prefer to go remote. So, out to the outer islands we head. Ben made dinner underway, and I kept lookout for boats and fishing gear.
Alright, good morning everybody. I am currently just waking up, having a coffee, checking out the sunrise, and I just flew the drone to scope out the surf wave nearby. We left Suva City in Fiji yesterday afternoon, and we're making our way along the southern coast of Fiji and found an area that I think there's going to be some fun waves. So I just flew the drone over towards the pass where we are now, where we're anchored, and it looks like a pretty good right. So Alie will be excited about that. I'm pretty stoked. This, like, if you've been following us for a long time, you know that this has been sort of the whole reason for the sailing adventure, is to try to surf off the boat, and and honestly just, it's come together at times, but it often hasn't. It's often been more focused on just keeping the boat off the reef and working, or sailing the boat, because there's a lot of miles to do on a Pacific crossing in a single season. The wave's just maybe a mile and a half that way. So far, first impressions of Fiji, all we've seen so far really is Suva City for a couple days where we cleared in. It's way bigger than I would have imagined it to be. That's one thing I've noticed. compared to like French Polynesia and Tonga and all that, like this main island where we are now is huge. So that's one first impression. Another first impression is that it's not that tall. Like it's not like a big volcanic Marquesas style or Tahiti style. It's like relatively flat, but looks like the land looks really beautiful. More mangroves here. English speaking, which is nice for us. Well, for me anyway. Alie speaks French, but I don't. So nice to be, same with Tonga, back into English speaking lands. It just makes everything easier for me. Like getting a SIM card and all that, reloading a SIM card, just I don't have to translate everything all the time. So I like that. And yeah, people are super friendly here so far. And a way larger Indian immigration situation than I realized. I looked it up online, and it's because India was also, well, Fiji and India are both British colonies in past years, and in the early, I guess in the 1900s, in the early 20th century, 1800s and the early 20th century, Indian people were brought over by the British to Fiji to help with whatever industrial, I think it was maybe sugarcane farming or something like that, to help extract resources from Fiji, essentially. And then those people set up, became Indo-Fijians and set up their lives here. And generations later, there's a very large Indian population in Fiji. So that was news to me, as somebody who's never been to Fiji or never really looked too much into this place. So that's your little fact for today. I think the spot I'm in is pretty cool. There's definitely, I can see at least 3 waves just from the anchorage, and based on my research, there's a couple more further that way that I can't currently see. But let's hope we get some.
Stay tuned for next week's episode as we explore the outer islands of Fiji and our Earth's most incredible anchorages and surf waves. Support the channel over on Patreon, but make sure you do it through the web browser and not through the app. See you next week. Ding.